Here's a good idea I learned along the way. Lead protests against yourself. If you're going to go do something and you might think there might be an opposition, like running for government or trying to take over a country or something, what you should do is you should create the group that is opposing you, you know, and lead that too. And then that way you can control them both, and you can make them both do what you want to do. I learned that from watching what's going on, and then reading my Bible, and then also I realized that hey, that's a good idea. You know, obviously that works because I go on Twitter and then all I get is like the people I'd protest against acting like they're protesting against themselves. And so I realized, hey, that's really effective. That must have worked for a real long time and stuff. So how they created that book like 4,000 years ago, something like that. And looks like, if I'm reading it correctly, it looks like, you know, they've been doing that since at least the Roman time and stuff. Maybe that was like the lesson they learned. Maybe it actually collapsed and they didn't just like shed their skin and change their name, because I think that's really all that's happening. You know, you might kill all the Germans, but you still have the land, and now you're somewhere else getting more land. You've already won. Like, it doesn't matter who dies in Germany. It doesn't matter who dies in America. You've already got that place. It's just land. You know, it's like it's like one of those extra pairs of socks I have in case I don't clean all my socks. It's just sitting there in the drawer. Like, I mean, I should probably throw it away. It's taking up a little bit of space or something. And give it away or something. But hey, you know, just in case I don't clean all my socks and I need an extra pair for wash day, I keep it laying around. That's pretty much all it is, right? Just create your group there, and then you create the opposition to your group, and then you're sure to win. You just, I don't know, tell a bunch of lies to your opposition or something, right? Like you're leading and be like, oh yeah, he works with Bigfoot, and you know Bigfoot's a serial rapist, so, and he mutilates children. And that's not good. And then, you know, everyone will go around telling everyone, like, yeah, he works with Bigfoot, man, and Bigfoot mutilates and rapes children, so that's not good. And then everyone will go and tell everyone else that, and then everyone else will go and tell everyone else that. And then by the time, you know, you get up there on TV talking about, I'm running for president, the other people are like, Harry Bowman and the goldfish swimming in the sky at night during the daytime, and then you've won because it sounds like Joe Biden speaking. And the only thing you got to try to do is not like tell them, right? That's the important part here. Is don't tell them it's you. You know, like do like Amen Rod did. Like put on a bird mask. Check this out, bro. I got hair. I can just go around like that. See, man. No, I didn't shapeshift into someone else. Bro, I'm controlling the opposition here, man. That's why I didn't go to that protest recently, though. Because, I mean, I just signed on to X, and there we are. I've already been to enough of those. It seems a little pointless to go there and talk to the people I'm protesting to about protesting themselves. When if they wanted to protest themselves, wouldn't they just change themselves? That's weird. Anyways, so there you go. If you want to do something in this life, and also make sure you wear the right makeup and look a certain way, because other than that, you're probably gonna have to sell your soul to them, which doesn't mean anything except you're their slave on this earth. You don't have to wait till you die to become their slave. You're going to be a slave before you die. You know, you'll get to watch like your families die or something, like Kobe. Kobe's children got to watch Kobe die, right? So Kobe's family got to watch Kobe die. Sometimes they just take out your family members first. You know, Janet Jackson wanted to sell out Michael Jackson. She's still got to watch him die and attempting to sell him out. Just seems to happen to people in those fields, right? So, put on your makeup, change your name to something more appropriate, and tell them you're from like Zimbabwe or something, because you never, really say where you're from. You gotta make it look obvious that you're lying, but don't try to hide. Which, if you're not like part of the group, like, just make it obvious you're lying, and they'll be like, oh, they're one of us, probably. Unless they're aliens with hive minds who have facial recognition software in their skill set, with which is I don't know. It's weird. Someone who works with the government in Hollywood, I felt like they were teaching me how to wear sunglasses, as if they knew, as if I should be wearing those to prevent something. And I did notice weird recognition happening in this world, between the glasses and not the glasses. Like the whole like bots everywhere situation, like, slightly changes, if not drastically changes, when I put on sunglasses. So I don't know, maybe they can like scan your irises or something. Obviously we got something like that going on here. We got like movies and music and news media being just generated like that. How ancient, outdated caveman tech do you think scanning irises would be if they can do that? Just pop up around the corner when you ask for them and something like that. Well, I think it's way beyond. We're nowhere near that. We can already scan irises. Well, at least the average person is admitting they are, right? But that's the best way to do it, right? So, like, hopefully, you can just look at Trump and Newsom and tell they're like twins. I mean, put him beside Trump's children. It's a little bit easier because Trump's wearing his wig there, his blonde wig. Appears to be something Hitler forgot to do and Goebbels forgot to do, was wear their blonde wigs and their blue eye contacts. Important step if you're going to go that far. Important step. But yeah, that's the best way to do it. So, if you want to go do something, first of all, make sure you're the right person, and if not, I guess you recycle yourself, and hopefully the dice gets thrown better next time. And then you gotta next time when the dice rolls right, you come back and then you put on your outfit, look the right way, control both groups, and then they'll do whatever there. Pretty easy. Works for pretty much anyone and stuff. Just don't spend too much time talking to one single person, because that can get out of hand. They're going to be asking questions about weird shit. Fucking it doesn't go anywhere. Denying you just said some words that you did just say. Shit like that. I've seen all that. I'm not even sure. Like, I should clue you in right there when someone's arguing with you about something you did say. And you're going to be dealing with a lot of that. I don't know if stopping the facial recognition thing impedes the bots or anything, but it's highly possible it does, because it was like one of those things that get pushed in my life, and I have no interest in it. I don't even wear glasses most of the time. I kind of have to force myself. But it was from the higher ups, and they seem to enjoy that or something. Don't know exactly. Maybe it was for a different reason, but I don't think so, because that person was teaching me about like how to fucking mangle people with voodoo dolls and shit like that. Mangle me with voodoo dolls. So, yeah. You gotta take the lessons allowed to be learned here. And yeah, I consider that both those things a pretty big failure. And both those people are probably out there protesting for people they think they're protesting. And, well, yeah, I don't, probably not. Probably yes. And, yeah, I mean, I can't even get on the media anymore, because every time I do, it's like, oh, here we are again. And it's like I've heard enough from one person my whole life to not need to keep hearing from that same person again. So who knows what they're going to do with that? We can only guess why they're doing that, right? Seems pretty obvious why they would do all the things they do. Just link it all together. Force drugging people, kidnapping people, bombing people, terrorizing people, raping people, destroying people's entire lives, setting their life, like sending them people, fake relationships. People will try to kill you if you fucking try to get away from them. People will fucking pull the emotional blackmail thing if you try to get away from them. People will make threats that if you try to get away from them, they're going to kill you or rob you or blackmail you. Put it all together. What are you dealing with here? Team. Go team. T-E-A-M. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the team here. The team with repeat patterns. And repeat motives can be found if the patterns are in high enough density. We can link the patterns and the actions within the pattern can then display a motive. And then we can figure out the possible motive, since we haven't been able to get an emission sometimes, but we have been shown documents over the decades, and we have tested these things. We have tested these things in front of other people as well to make sure it was well documented if it were happening. And we have documented these things. So I'd say that's pretty good. I mean, right now you got the Nazi leaders talking about our people. Boy, who's that? Laura Loomer. She's like the leader of the Nazis, and she's like, our people, because her people are being bombed in Israel. So, I mean, I talked to some people who were like up there with them who didn't look like them. The only person, really, who I can think of, really, who didn't look like them, who was up there in the alt-right, the leader of Europa Resistance. And I was like, yeah, ain't that a little weird how Trump looks? Like, you just, I don't go around cutting corners like that. Yeah, Trump's obviously one of them. Take a look at him. He's like, no. He's like, he's our only hope. And it's like, well, bro, I think it's possible they invented the word hope. Fucking, that might not even existed until they came along. Peace, love, hope. Democracy didn't exist until they came along. Freedom didn't exist till they came along. Now you're all free. Now you've all got democracy. You can choose from the one guy or the other guy who looks like his twin. Or his son. Now let's be a little more accurate, right? That blonde wig really throws you off and shit. That phenotype right there does indeed. Like, throw off the scent. Wait till you get to Whoopi Goldberg. And that one's actually more identifiable if you don't see color. That blonde phenotype, that's been in my life several times. That's one of the people who was involved in poisoning me. That was the person who gave me a place to stay after they poisoned me and kicked me out. Poisoned me and made up some shit to kick me out. Also, a person who was in my life for a very long time. That's odd. They all three look the same. Like, real same. I've seen thousands of people. If I say someone looks, I've seen fucking a million people. If I say someone looks the same, they really do. Fucking, especially if I've been around them like 2 years, and I think someone else that looks like them, it takes a little bit. Well, there you go. That's pretty much that was probably a nice big waste to go protest them with them. So it's gonna go out, but yeah, it's just the same every time I go out. So no point to that. You end up with them talking to you the whole time about Obama's transsexual lover instead of the fact that Barack is an Israeli man and he's not European. So it's almost like they're an alien species, alien bot species fucking targeting you, and like they got a hive mind and they show up. I mean, Alex Jones and his pals showed up. I went to it's Russia controlling the world protest. And I was trying to inform them. Their leader there doesn't look very Russian or American. And then Alex Jones people showed up, and it's like a little protest. So it's like 30 minutes into it. They magically teleported across the map from Texas over to my city to like get in the way there. And disrupt my counter protest with some liberal Republican outfighting protest type thing. And so they just show up like 30 minutes. They're alien shapeshifters or bots. It's one of the two. It's real simple. And pretty sure due to the dedication and the time that there's at least one bot species on the planet. At least one. And they have several people. I mean, you can get off a bus or something and two of them walk by me answering my questions and stuff. So I wouldn't say I'm inventing it because I've already tested that. Enough to understand that it's probably not quite that exciting. And then there'd be like no point in storyline if we were just in a simulation, right? And then they already have the laid out storyline. So think about that. So that's the counter to your simulation thing. Is there's already a laid out storyline. Simulation is not a storyline. Simulation is an open free roam, do whatever you want type situation. Game or visual novel is when you have a storyline that's pre-written when you go somewhere. And so again, if they're talking, they're making up some Bigfoot stories. So when that whole rabbit hole of simulation, it's not a simulation. It's got them spreading their beautiful storyline all across all four corners of the map. Tell the story and tell it loud. They are here. And if you don't like it, you're gonna die. And if you do like it, you're still probably gonna die. And what do you do? What do you do, right? It's just what's happening here. Um, so I expect as God that the churches will be informing their people this Sunday that all those people running the churches and the governments and all that look like they're twinsies for some reason. And maybe that has something to do with anything at all. And maybe the book actually explains this. On the very first frickin' page of it. No wonder people don't read that. You pick it up and right away it's like some fucking Nazi bloodline shit. Fucking, it's not even interesting. It doesn't even like pull you into the story and stuff. It's just like a manual. It's anyways, well, Abraham's out there protesting Isaac, right? And Jacob owns the media that is telling you that only Abraham and Isaac exist in. And then Paul, he runs the TV camera, so he only points it in the direction it needs to be pointed in. If Paul has his brother John and Michael John wasn't one of them. Michael and Christoph or whatever. If Paul has Michael and Christoph assault you and you're standing right beside the media, Paul can choose not to turn the camera over to the exciting footage and keep acting like he's doing nothing and doesn't notice that his family's over here, his hired assassins are over here assaulting people. So yeah, that's how it's going to work. And they'll cover the footage they want to cover, and they'll show you the footage they want to show you. And so they're leading a protest against themselves. And even if something does happen outside of the narrative, they're controlling the cameras, so they choose what's going to be recorded. And even if you accidentally record some you don't want to, then they'll have their split-second AI from the future that they've used for thousands of years to edit the footage, and then it'll show up on TV. It seems to be like pretty much what I would explain. It appears to be happening here, right? It's a great way to do it. I guess if you're going to protest yourself, you might also want to have access to all that media and capabilities and a whole large crew to edit this stuff, and that way no one else, says anything, or accidentally doesn't delete the wrong footage or something like that. Perfect way to win. I wish I would have known that, but I was busy being taught to worship them and to do drugs for them and have sex with them and to worship them. Worship. Some people think worship is where you go like give them your money and you scream with them and stuff, or let them scream at you and punch you and stuff. And some priests like private moments with little boys. That's why they invent their rituals there, their circumcision rituals. I mean, you got to realize how sick these people are in control if they're going around mutilating and raping children. I don't know, maybe I'm the only living being here, so I'm the only one who finds, I've had that moral pounded into me by people who participate in shit like that nonetheless. But I do notice that people want to keep you to themselves. So it's kind of part of it. Only a couple people can rape children, right? Because it's a special gift. It's worth its weight in at least pennies. I guess Jeffrey Epstein probably didn't pay children too much, right? Probably gave him like $40 worth of blow or something, and and a 15-year-old girl's she's off to Never Never Land. Oh, yeah, I guess there's a lot more involved than just controlling the opposition. You might want to go like blackmail everyone who might like point out that you're yourself controlling your own opposition. You might want to do that and figure out how to do that, like buy some banks and the internet and give them some ads and get them on the internet, and then send them some underage women, send them some boys to rub their leg hair, something like that. Hell, you might want to do that to your own people too, even, because that way, safety check. You got them on the block, you got them working. You don't want them to be like, oh, we edited the footage. He was protesting himself and he accidentally spoke like he was himself, and we had to edit that part out. Like, shit, you want to say I got you on camera with a little kid? You might not want to do that. I do get those vibes, like the whole Santa Claus thing, really. And it's a lot like that. I mean, the whole thing Santa comes from is quite a bit like that too. It's pretty much telling you to obey or you're going to fucking burn. That's some Santa Claus shit. That's what you teach little children and shit. Like, obey or bringing you some hot coals to burn in this year. And which is weird because you could also use the coals when you're outside in the woods, learning what cavemen used to do, and because their people are going to be the ones owning the internet and running the computers and stuff like that. So you're going to have to learn, how to pick grass and stuff like that. So, coals could actually come in handy there. You can take that out, not have to work to pay for that when you're 8, and you got your free coal in your stocking. You take that out there and you save yourself an hour of labor cutting down all the trees to make some firewood, and 15 minutes to get that started with swish swish, and there you go. Put that coal to use, son. Just peep patterns here. It's telling you what certain characters are available to do mentally and physically. Every action they do, be you perceive it good or bad, it tells you something about the person you're dealing with. And it's going to be as solid as concrete if you pay attention to what they're doing and what they're saying and not what they're trying to tell you. It will prove a lot more reasonable for your a lot more reasonable future. I used to not pay attention to people when I knew they were lying and just be like, well, this is it. This is what we get. And then, it still ends up the same way. You know it's going to end, and then it ends up you looking at it like, well, I knew better. And, at least now life's a learning adventure, bro. When you're 80 and you're dying, you should go run the Olympics. And get your dream done. After you've learned all those great lessons from all those people lying and manipulating you, you'll finally be able to do something. Unless they don't want you running. Which, if you want to, will probably be the case. That's usually it. It's weird how when I do something, they'll like come counter it with what they wouldn't let me do the 10 years before it. I mean, it's a big mind game with the Abrahamic bloodline. And obviously, you can't even write words like that unless your mind is set on smoking crack out of a plastic pipe 24/7. So, yet alone we extend it into some Santa Claus and Bigfoot stuff. That's just a person who's like, they ran out of plastic and they're using like freaking irradiated tubes to smoke their crack pipes and stuff. I don't know. It could just be decades of using plastic pipes to smoke their crack. I don't really know the facts. I don't enjoy crack as much as they do. But yeah, that might help you run too, because then you get that uppity pep. Like Biden. He used to be alive till he got fried from it, and he actually talked and said coherent sentences and stuff, and not everyone even does that up in the government. So there you go, lots of important lessons, but the main one is create your own opposition. Like, they created Satan like 4,000 years ago in the Bible, and they didn't have to roll it out for 6,000 years. So we're here now, they're writing the Satanic Bible, and they're just like, yeah, give me your money, I'm gonna send it to Israel, and there we go. Useful tool, creating your own opposition, otherwise known as